Ladies and gentlemen, my name is BSRaven as always, and today I'm going to be looking at Kerbal Space Program. Now, before we begin, I'm going to put my hands up and say I broke my computer over the holidays season. Yeah, I was trying to get a new graphics card on and I forgot the basic rule of moving a motherboard. Get the bugger off the case. Yes. But it's back and working now. You may be able to hear the fan in the background. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. It's a very loud power supply I've got in now, mainly because I have a big graphics card in here now. But for the moment it's not working, so more Plock and Minecraft Misadventures will probably go on hold until I get that fixed. In the meantime, I will look at Kerbal Space Program. Now, this game, I don't even think it's in alpha really. It's currently freely available from KerbalSpaceProgram.com. I will put that in the description below, as always. It's currently free, but this is version 0.13. This is the last free version they'll be putting out. After this, you'll have to pre-order the game for $7, which I think is about £5. Don't quote me on that. I will look it up and put that in the description, roughly. But once you reach that level, you will gain access to pre-orders, which will give you future versions. Now, this game is about 11 months in development so far, and I have to say, despite being bare bones, it's rather fun. Let's have a look at the settings. Sound, fairly reasonable. Actually, I need to turn that down. This is quite a loud game, come to think of it. Input. You can rebind your keys. This is helpful. There are a lot of keys. Excuse me. You can also use a joystick if that's your kind of thing. I don't know if you'd want to use a joystick because there are a lot of keys to do with here. Video settings? Spartan, but there's a lot of difference between the settings. This is absolute minimum, so this is about the ugliest the game will get. I'm going to stick with trying to keep the game as ugly as I can get with these, because I want people to see what the most playable version of it looks like. Oh dear. That's gone wrong. That's not good at all. This could take a while. The loading is an absolute pain. Yes, the game still has some bugs. I've just hit one, getting out of the options screen. Apparently, you should probably avoid clicking accept when you're not changing your settings, because I've just been hit by a bug which has killed the game. I apologise for that, but the video feed should resume shortly. Okay, there we go. Just make sure my sound settings stuck. Yes, they stuck. Cancel. Start game. Now, the base principle of Kerbal Space Program is that you're in charge of the space program for the planet Kerbal. You get several command modules to choose from. Now, I have to say now, this is modded. I will admit from the start, this is a modded version. Normally you will only have access to this. I will try and keep the use of modded things to a minimum, but I can't guarantee that because I can't remember what's in the vanilla version. It's a very simple click and drag interface. Several tabs. There is a tutorial on this, but I'm not going to go over that because it's absolutely basic. Don't really think I need to worry too much about going over the absolute basics. Oh. That's the default parachute. Everything here is default, yes. Now this is just a complete basic setup here. It's not much, but this is your absolute basic spaceship. You click launch, and this is where the meat of the game comes in. Ooh, my frame rate is kind of bad here. Bear with me, it does improve. It's not an amazingly pretty game, but for what it is, it's not bad. Time warp as well, so that you can have a better idea of speed. Ship controls are W, A, S, D, Q, and E. W and this is W. S, A, D, Q, E. If you noticed, every time I press one of those, this down here change. This gives you a rough idea of how your spaceship is moving. Like which direction it's going. If you watch the command module, and you'll see that this is the right way up, almost central. This is upside down, almost central. And then you can just screw around with your pilots. Horrible things can and do happen in this game. I'm not going to lie about that. Dear Lord, horrible things can happen to these people. I feel so sorry for them. If you look down here, you have 3 Kerbals: Bill, Jebediah, and Bob. Jebediah is your standard action hero, Bob is a coward, and Bill's cautious, but he's not quite as bad as Bob. There's not much of a economy mechanic going on here in this game. At least not yet. I'd imagine that goes in a future version. But this gives you a good idea of what the gameplay is like. I apologise in advance for the poor frame rate. Fortunately, the game's fairly playable at almost any frame rate. For example, I'm getting 10 frames per second here. As you can see, the game is running fairly okay. I've done worse. Well, I've played worse. And that's a successful landing. Simple, clean, and effective. Now, half the appeal of the game is the fact that it's so moddable. You don't start off with much with the basics. So, for example, if we go for this and equip it with wrong one. Everything from here down, well, everything from this fuel tank down, mods. As you can see, this is a much more powerful engine, but with the engine power comes increased fuel consumption, hence the larger fuel tank. I shudder to think how well the other one would do with this fuel. How the other fuel tank would cope with this booster. Sorry, engine. Boosters and engines are completely separate things that I need to remember to separate. Differentiate! Oh god, I am not on a roll today. As you can see, these get ridiculously fast, ridiculously quickly. And we're in space! Complete with a frame rate rise. We're actually getting to 25 frames a second. Oh, hello. We're averaging about 30 frames per second at this point. In fact, we launched this Did we launch this so fast that it's actually going to... Oh my. Oh, this is going to be interesting. We reached over 1,000 kilometers above Kerbal. We are now going to try and land. This is not going to be a fun experience. Good God. They re-entered at nearly 4,000 meters per second. How the hell they survived that, I have no idea. Yeah, the water effects in this game are good. I mean, just look at that. This is on everything completely minimum. And that water is still fairly damn inviting. Probably looks completely terrible compared to higher settings, but that's not bad, really, is it? Now, that's what happens with one large fuel tank. If we really want to turn it up, with some wrangling, this is where mods start showing up, so if such a thing offends you, turn away now. Where did I put it? Ah, there we are. Oh, come on. Yes. You can actually do this. You tend to invite horrible things upon yourself in doing so, however. The damn ship. Just reinforce that. Now, by my own admission, this is a really badly designed rocket, and I will be surprised if this does not blow up in my face. Yes, like that. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, that one broke too. That's good. Oh dear, I broke it again. Yes. That is how you don't do it. Need to remove this. No! 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 Got ya. Now, this is where things get entertaining. Oh, no, not what I wanted. Oh god, what have I done? Wow! That collapsed hilariously. Somehow these guys survived it. Oops. You saw nothing. Whilst I quickly escape from Kerbal, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Kerbal Space Program. It's being developed by Squad. It's currently $7. That's probably going to go up closer to release. I highly suggest at least giving the demo a go. I'll link to the download page for that in the description. And honestly, I couldn't recommend it much more. It's one of those games where you'll either love it or hate it. I love it. It runs a lot smoother for me when I'm not recording it as well, so that's a bonus. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, this is BSRaven, and I'm out of here.